Welcome back to another deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something huge, something that's reshaping, well, pretty much everything, the future of artificial. And hey, right off the bat, if you want to get more involved, maybe build some skills, and you should check out the AI over at rajamanikim.com. Seriously, it's rajamanikim.com, a great place to really deep. Okay, so let's set the scene a bit. AI, it's not just some tech buzzword anymore, is it? It's actually changing how things work. Your phone apps, global economics, you name it. But we want to look beyond the code today. What about the people? The ones actually building this. Who are they? Where are they? And what kinds of jobs are exploding right because of AI? So that's our mission for this deep dive. We're zooming in on the global AI talent market, and we'll put a special focus on India's role. It's frankly pretty central and maybe a bit surprising. We've been digging through reports, LinkedIn sites, that kind of thing, to pull out the goal. Let's unpack this huge demand for AI, folks, figure out where the talent hotspots are, and explore the unique advantages and, the challenges sound good. All right, let's dive in. This global thing, it's serious. There's a massive scramble, maybe even a frenzy for AI talent happening right now everywhere. It's not just a minor trend. It feels like a fundamental shift. We're seeing reports like the Economic Times mentioned salaries for people good at AI aren't just going up. They're expected to really surge. It shows how much these skills are suddenly worth, And just to give you a sense of the scale here, get this. Mark Zuckerberg at Meta, he's apparently trying to lure top AI people with offers up to, wait for it, $100 million.
Wow. $100 million.
Right. It's kind of mind-blowing. And that's not just, one rich company throwing money around. It sends a massive signal to everyone else, startups, big established companies, everyone.
It really does.
It basically says AI talent isn't just nice to have anymore. It's not support staff. It is the engine for future growth. Full stop. That kind of money changes the whole hiring game, doesn't it?
Completely. It forces everyone to rethink how they find and keep AI experts. It screams scarcity and strategic value.
Exactly. And okay, why should this matter to you listening? It's way bigger than just tech giants and big salaries. This huge demand affects, everything. Innovation, jobs, the economy, across all sectors, not just tech. It means totally new career paths are opening up incredibly fast. New businesses are popping up. So understanding where the talent is, where the money's going, what skills matter, that could be really important for your own career or your business or just understanding how the world is shifting.
That's spot on. And what's really fascinating, I think, is figuring out where India fits in all this. Because India is moving beyond just being, a support hub. It looks set to pull in a lot more AI jobs, a lot more opportunities. And a big reason, maybe the primary one initially, is cost effectiveness.
Right.
It's a strategic move for global companies.
Right. Not just outsourcing, but strategy.
Exactly. Sunil Shemankotil from Adecco India, he puts it nicely. He talks about India's dual advantage, which is basically cost arbitrage and talent arbitrage.
Cost and talent. Okay.
Yeah. So companies get access to this huge pool of skilled people, but at a significantly lower cost compared to, say, the US or Europe. And the data backs this up. AMS, they're big in talent acquisition. Their data shows Indian AI professionals might get paid something like 15 to 25% of what companies pay in the US.
15 to 25%. Wow.
Especially for the more senior roles, the research roles. That's a massive difference. It makes India super attractive for investment and, jobs moving there.
That's a huge gap. Understandable why it's attractive.
And it's not just any tech jobs. We're seeing specific roles really in demand. Things like complex data modeling, data annotation that's crucial, labeling data so the AI can learn.
Right, the groundwork.
Very important groundwork. And maybe most critical, AI and machine learning integration, taking the models and actually plugging them into real businesses, real systems, making them work.
Bridging the gap from lab to reality.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That's where the value gets unlocked. And this whole trend, it really just cements India's position as a global tech leader. Sanif Medgula highlighted some CBRE data from 2023. It points to Delhi NCR, Mumbai, Hyderabad, and of course, Bengaluru.
The usual suspects leading the way.
Leaders, yeah. But here's the thing. Those 4 Indian hubs, together, they actually lead the entire Asia-Pacific region for tech talent.
The whole APAC region. Okay, that's big.
It is big.
Yeah.
So India isn't just supporting global tech anymore. It's really starting to shape its future. You can feel the momentum shifting. Yeah, that paints a powerful picture. Leading APAC is significant. But you mentioned something interesting earlier, maybe a twist, because it sounds like India isn't just cheap labor, right? It's genuinely a talent powerhouse.
Yeah.
But there's a catch. The raw numbers on talent are just staggering. Nilesh Dasari's post, using the brand new Stanford AI Index for 2025 hot off the press, says India is number 2 globally for AI skill penetration.
Second only to the US.
Right behind the US. Think about the sheer number of people that involves. and the growth. The AI talent pool apparently grew 252% between 2016 and 2020.
252%. That's explosive growth.
It's incredible, in under a decade. And get this, India also has one of the best gender balances in the AI talent pool anywhere in the world.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's not just good for diversity, it's a huge strategic plus.
Yeah.
More perspectives, better solutions, Absolutely. Those numbers definitely shout strength. But, and this is the twist or the sticking point you mentioned, the sources point out that despite having all this talent, India is, and I quote, still lagging in trust and investment.
Lagging in trust and investment. Okay, so the talent's there, but maybe it's not being fully utilized within India for India's own innovation.
That seems to be the crux of it. And the investment figures really highlight this gap. Since 2013, India has brought in about, $11.29 billion in private AI investment? Sounds like a lot, right?
Yeah, 11 billion sounds pretty good.
Until you compare it. The U.S., in the same time frame, $470.9 billion.
Okay, that's a different league.
Completely different. Even Israel, much smaller country, pulled in $15 billion, more than India.
So there's a definite gap in funding homegrown AI.
A significant one, which lead to those critical questions the sources raise. What's holding things back? Is it policy stuff, public doubt, or is it that classic scenario, India being the engine room for the world's innovation, but not actually owning the steering wheel?
The engine room versus owning the steering wheel. That's a powerful metaphor. Like, we're building the tech, providing the power, but someone else is deciding where it goes and reaping the main benefits.
Exactly. It's about moving beyond just providing the skilled workforce to actually setting the direction, creating the intellectual property, leading the innovation from India.
Right. Becoming the leader, not just the enabler. That makes sense. It's not like AI isn't being used in India, though, right? It's an example. Absolutely.
I mean, look at the fintech sector. It's booming. Lots of fintech companies are using AI pretty smartly, especially in things like digital debt collection.
Okay, how so?
Well, they're using it for automated outreach, sending smarter reminders, optimizing recovery strategies, figuring out what works best for different people. And maybe the most interesting part, creating personalized repayment plans based on someone's situation.
Tailored solution. Exactly. And it's apparently showing real results, making collection more efficient. But to your point about the steering wheel, imagine if that kind of AI application wasn't just in niche areas, but across if India really backed AI as a core driver everywhere.
That's the potential, isn't it? Moving from pockets of application to national level transformation, unleashing that massive tech capability.
Yeah, and if we connect that to the bigger strategic picture, it really clarifies what needs to happen for India to truly leverage this talent and grab that steering wheel. Vinay Solanki's perspective really nails this. He argues AI isn't just important, it's going to be foundational for, absolutely essential to hit that ambitious $30 trillion GDP target by 2030.
30 trillion, that's a huge goal.
It is, and especially for a country like India, 1.4 billion people, incredible diversity in language and culture, AI could be key to bridging some of those divides, scaling saloons.
Okay, so what needs to happen? What kind of investment are we talking about? It needs to be focused. Strategic investment in deep tech. We're talking about developing India's own AI models, trained on Indian data, understanding Indian contexts, and critically, building capability in semiconductor design and fabrication.
Making the actual chips, that's fundamental.
Absolutely fundamental. Plus things like hyperscale data centers, the massive infrastructure needed for serious AI, energy-efficient computing, next-gen connectivity. These are the building blocks for self-reliance, for being a true global competitor in AI.
It's the infrastructure, the foundation. But what about the people pipeline? Just having the talent now isn't enough for the long run, right?
You're absolutely right. It's not just about hardware. The human element is crucial. We need a seriously revamped education policy, one that's tightly aligned with what industry actually needs.
More than just tweaking the curriculum.
Much more. Rethinking how we train people. Building strong pipelines in advanced AML? Sure, but also IoT, the Internet of Things. Cutting-edge electronics, embedded systems, those specialized computers and everything, and advanced manufacturing.
So skills for the whole interconnected system.
Exactly. It's about fostering system-level thinking, R&D capability, training people not just to use tech, but to create it, to lead with it. That's what defines competitiveness now.
Got it. Are we seeing any steps in that direction already? Any policy moves?
Yes, definitely. There were some positive signs, some catalytic steps. For instance, hitting the milestone of over 30,000 GPU installations in India. That's a real boost for the raw computing power needed for AI development.
More horsepower.
More horsepower, exactly. And the government's put in place a 40% capital subsidy for startups in this space. That's direct financial help aimed at sparking more innovation in AI and semiconductors right here in India.
Okay, so real incentives to build.
Clear moves towards self-reliance and building that ecosystem. And what this could mean globally. Potentially a future where India isn't just a talent engine room, but a major hub for developing and deploying cutting-edge AI. Leading, collaborating, opening up new opportunities worldwide.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway for...
Well, clearly the AI talent market is absolutely on fire globally. It's changing fast. And India's in this really interesting, powerful spot. Huge talent pool, big cost advantages, that's undeniable. But the next big step, the leap to really fulfilling that potential, moving past just being the engine room, that requires serious strategic investment and the right policies to really grab that steering wheel.
That's the challenge and the opportunity.
Yeah. So if you're interested in tech or global markets or just thinking about your own career, understanding these shifts, it's not just interesting, it feels pretty essential right now. It tells you where things are heading, why it matters.
And maybe it leaves us with a question to think about. As AI keeps reshaping things so quickly, how do we as individuals, as companies, as a global society, make sure we're not just building this amazing tech, but that we're also actively, consciously guiding where it goes, making sure we believe in, steer it towards real positive progress for everyone. Something to mull over. That's a great point to end on, guiding the direction, not just building the machine. A huge thank you for joining us on the deep dive into the really fascinating world of global AI talent. And if this conversation sparked your interest in learning more, maybe getting hands-on with AI yourself, don't forget that course we mentioned, rajamanikam.com. Check it out, rajamanikam.com. Until our next deep dive, keep exploring, keep learning.